Hello, students. All right, we're going to talk about your assignment. Basically, you're going to be using the primitives in 3ds Max to build out a chess set and a chessboard. Um, don't worry about building out the whole scene, but just focus on the objects right now. And I just want to give you a couple of things like how your object. We're going to build the standard chess set. So this is I've given you the image of what that chess set looks like. So we're not going off and building. You can do that on your own later on. Particularly with the next lab, there's an opportunity to do a stylized chess set. Focus on this chess set. Focus on the pieces here on what's important. Things to be, the pawn is the smallest. The rook and the knight are the second, are equal size. The bishop is next. Queen is the next highest, and the king is the largest piece. And that's something that you need to be aware of and take into account when you build your chess set. Don't make your pawns the biggest piece. They should be the smallest piece, and that's something you will be graded on. Right now, you will be building a chess set. So, like we look down here, it is basically an 8x8 grid with another board around it. I mean, for your purposes right now, you'd have one cube to be the base of the board, and then you'd do literally 64 cubes alternating black and white. And that's how you're going to build it this week. Not how you would build it next week. We'll look at some of there's be other tools that will be available to you, and also there's also material pieces that will be in play here that you don't have access to. So if it seems excessive this week, it is kind of excessive, but it's what you have available to you right now. Let's take a look again at the pawn, and we're gonna go like let's think about let's give me a bigger size. Let's think about what the pawn looks like. Let's go back to the image one more time. We've got the base, we've got the neck, we've got this round piece here, and we've got the circle. So how would we, on a looking down one of the, down like the front or the right view, that would be, hey, there's the base. We would have, again, we could do. So we could go to, do two pieces to there, and essentially these are cones. This would be the disc, and then the sphere. And I know I've done this in but here is the silhouette. Getting in my shape. This probably needs to be bigger. More like, well, now I'm not getting it right. It needs to be a bit bigger. There we go. But here's the idea: is that we've got the sphere. I'm not going to try to continue writing with that. We've got the sphere. We've got the disc. We've got two cones that build that neck. I mean, this could be one. I mean, we could again try this again. And you can, and again, this is a little off center, but that's the idea here: is that get the silhouette of the shape. All right. Don't try and be like, I'm going to mesh. No, you're not. You don't have the mesh tools. You don't have the free reign over all the polygons. The idea is that you're trying to get a rough representation of the shape that works. All right. Not that it's perfect, that it's within reason. Let's go back here. Again, the big one with the knight, this is the one that's going to be the hardest. Go grab the spout of the go get the teapot, go get its spout that has that curved shape that you'll need here. I mean, you could do this as a box, a box here, a box there. You could do this with multiple boxes. It's not about being like you're not getting these fine details in here, like this, like the eye and the mouth and whatnot, or the ear. You're not trying to get those details in. What you're trying to do is get an approximation. Again, the slit here. You can do that if you want, but you don't need to build that this week. You don't have that fine control over the mesh. Again, with the knight, look at the top. It's got those pieces. Those are just part of a ring. That is a ring. Basically, make a ring that goes about, let's say, so there's six. We'll say they're about 20 degrees from the start to end on a circle, and then you just duplicate that around, for 6 things around. Maybe it's 30, depending on how you play it out. I mean, I'm not doing the math on top of it. But again, this is basically here. Here, you could do half a sphere, and then there's a cone on top, and then a spear on top. All right? Don't worry about the frill here on the queen. Get the idea that there's that she's like the second biggest. There's 2 rings here, and this comes up half a sphere, and semicircle, and there. Don't worry about the detail of the cross. Just get the if you do a piece up and a cross, perfect. I mean, you could go in and do that detail. I mean, there's half of a disc, smaller half, and then a sphere on the top. You can do that detail if you want, but if you get just do a cross on top of the king, you're probably okay. So the idea is, again, don't go out of your don't go crazy in terms of the detail. Try and get the big broad strokes of the object, and that's the purpose of what we're trying to do here. Again, like with the board, I'm not asking. There's a better way. There'll be a better way to build the board next week. But right now, all you have are the cubes. Use them to your advantage for this week. Group them, and then next week we'll build it better. We'll build it from scratch better next week, and we'll build it bigger, better, faster, quicker. All right. Again, this is your lab assignment for this week. If you feel like you're pushing hard on something and you're having a hard time, you probably are. Again, look at all the bases. All the bases are all the same. You could do a ring there and then up, and then you could duplicate that and size it up for each one of these. Each of them has that ring. The rook looks like a second one. I mean, get the pawn right down this portion and get the neck right. I mean, the rook is going to be much thicker, but it's about the same size for the bishop, queen, and king proportionally. So you get the pawn down right, and how you build the pawn is going to inform you how you're going to build the rook, the bishop, the queen, and the king. Again, get the base right for the rook. You get it right for the knight, and then you can do whatever you want with that the spout of the teapot. All right. If you have questions, if you're having issues, if you feel like you're hitting against the wall against stuff, come back, come talk to me.